that he makes good for the man. Satan comes in and wants to usurp that, right? And so don't think that no matter what it is that's good coming for you, that Satan's not going to come in and try to corrupt it, because he will try to and use people to do that. So there are two things I want to bring to your attention today. Both of them I'm going to use my phone and recorded them. I recorded them. One is a video, but right now the video situation in here is not working. But if you can just, if you listen to it and hear it, you'll understand what's being said, and then we make comments after this. And then I encourage your questions and comments. You'll be surprised. Now, we live streaming on Facebook. So no matter how many people are here, there are people outside of here that are here and seeing all of what we're doing. And so they're going to hear your questions and comments. That's why we want to make sure we get you the mic before you ask your question, okay? So it's very important to comment and ask questions. Now, this first presentation is going to be dealing with a subject that I know most of you are probably aware of, and that's those who unfortunately target older people, people who are on Social Security, target them to try to separate them from their money. And they're being successful at it. They don't continue to do something if it's not being successful, right? So I'm going to play this recording because I got it. Somebody dialed me. I don't get Social Security, but that's not the point. The point is they just fishing. You throw out a net and try to pull in what you can pull in, So I want to make you all aware of this. Those who are listening to us on Facebook, make you aware of this. And the important thing is to share it with your relatives, okay? And particularly those who are kind of up in age. And you listen to this, and you can tell what kind of voice it is. But older people, they can't make those distinctions. A lot of them don't make those distinctions and get taken advantage of. And their little money is so little, none of them should be, they're being ripped off, okay? So listen to this, and we'll comment afterwards. Let me see now, let me play this. And let me make sure this is loud enough.
Hi, this is Deborah calling with the Student Loan Advisory Board. I'm just reaching out to you in regards to your federal student loan balances.
Let me stop that one. That was one. That's not the one I want to talk. First, another thing is, I don't have a student loan. All my student loans are paid. Okay, so what you calling me for? Okay, but that's not the one. Excuse me, that's not the one I want you to hear. But that's another one. That's another one. Okay, that's another one. Okay.
my call. It's an 800 number that called me like 20 times.
Oh yeah, they'll do that.
You can't block. You can't block it. It's a bunch of numbers. Every time it's a different number. It's not 800. It's 8 something. It's a different number every time.
Okay, now I think this is the one. Let me see. Yeah, this is it. Okay.
You received this message. I need you get back to me to my department division toll-free number that is 917-708-8778. I repeat, 917-708-8778. Verify the last 4 digits of your Social Security number when you call to better assist you. Now, if I don't hear a call from you, we will have to issue an arrest warrant under your name and get you arrested, so get back to me as soon as possible. Thank you.
Okay. That's the first one I want to give you. Okay. Now, just think about an older person who's on Social Security, gets that phone call. First, you can tell it's a computer-generated voice, right? It's computer-generated. But some people don't make that distinction, okay? And for a lot of people, the Social Security is all they have. That's the only source of income. And don't think this does not work, because it works. It works.
Are people working to outlaw that?
Oh yeah, they've been, yeah.
Because you kill somebody with that.
Yeah, they've shut a lot of these places down, but they pop right back up. They pop right back up. So that's the first one I want. This is all done by technology now. A computer generated it. There's a computer making the calls. There's no person doing this. This is a machine making these calls. And they make millions of them at a minute. Millions of them, okay. All they want to do is catch 1 or 2 people, and they pay for all of that. Just catch 1 or 2 people. But unfortunately, the people that they catch, they're going to lose. They're going to lose. So please share this with your relatives. First with yourselves, but with your relatives, particularly those who happen to be getting Social Security. And tell them, do not respond to anything like this. Don't call them back. I just happened to save it for you all. When I first hear, I would just hang up. Just hang up. But don't entertain them. Don't respond at all. Don't
push if they try
right.
to
Push one or whatever. Don't push nothing.
push anything.
Don't push nothing. Don't even respond. Just hang up. Okay. And delete it. When they leave the voicemail, boom, delete it, which is what I'm getting ready to do now. The only reason I said it was to share it with you. Okay. That's that one. Now, here's the next one. Now, this one is really important because this involves all of us. All of us. After I get through playing it, I'll help you understand. Because I think all of us have been, I know I have, and I'm pretty sure you have, been contacted by someone like this. So here we go. Let me share this one with you. No, let me find it first. This one was a video. It's on YouTube. I'm getting it from YouTube. But they broadcast it on CBS. Let me see if I can. I'm going to go to the bookmark and see if it's still there. And if not, then I can go to YouTube and get it because they put it up on YouTube. Nope, that's not the one. Okay. All right. Okay, here's the next one.
This seat is for those that get down in it.
Of course, my wife told me how to mute this.
The arena, the action. This seat is not for spectators.
Americans say they lost nearly $1.5 billion to fraud last year. Now, a quickly phone scam is targeting banking customers via your text messages. So in one version of that scam, a scammer pretends to be with the bank's fraud department and asks about a fake suspicious withdrawal. Our national correspondent, Rika Duncan, is here. So what makes this scam? I could see how people could fall for this if you think your bank is calling asking you about something. What makes this one so unique?
Well, these scammers are getting extra sophisticated. Many of us safeguard sensitive accounts from being hacked by using those extra measures like text message verification to sign in. But one man tells us scammers subverted that process and even used his bank's actual phone number to text him.
The lady identified her as Cindy at my particular bank and told me there had been a fraud attempt on my account.
Everything seemed normal when Peter Gunst answered a call earlier this month that he says appeared to come from his bank. The caller asked Gunst, who lives in California, if he'd attempted a transaction in Miami. After Gunst said no, she asked for his bank member identification, and he gave it to her.
And at that point, the lady said, okay, we're going to send you a one-time verification PIN so we can check your identity.
The scammer then used his bank member ID to prompt a text message from the bank's real phone number like others he'd received before with that one-time verification code. Gunst read it back over the phone, which allowed the scammer to access his account and list off actual bank transactions.
The fact that they used the bank's own infrastructure to send that PIN code to me, which then allowed them to reset my password, made it very credible.
It was only when the scammer asked Gunst for his bank PIN number that he realized something was wrong, hung up, and called the bank's real fraud line to lock his account.
A lot of scams come in through the phone, and more we're seeing them coming in through text message.
Catherine Hutt is with the Better Business Bureau. She says some red flags include if any caller asks for your name, address, social security number, or account numbers. And the best way to make sure you're really talking to your bank, just call the number on your card.
whether it's a small local community bank, a credit union, or one of the biggest banks in the country, they can be impostered. So you just have to be really careful.
Gunst, who's a technology lawyer, later tweeted about the scam. He told us several people responded to him with similar stories. The Better Business Bureau says it's a best practice to regularly monitor your bank statements for potentially fraudulent charges. I was just recently hacked.
Were you?
But I checked my account very closely, and that's how I was able to detect it. So it's now being investigated, but there's so many ways. I mean, whether it's
This is really sophisticated.
Yeah,
They're calling you. You think they're trying to help you.
from a real number.
But
So the trick is,
call. You got to make a phone call.
make a phone call, and if they ask you for your information about what's your ID number, or your password, or your account number, because if they're really the bank, they should know what your account number is.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
But I could see falling for that in the heat of the moment, and saying, I'm trying to help you.
Good thing he pulled up. Drika, thank you very
Yes.
much.
Okay.
It was so big.
All right. Now I know you've had this happen because I have. You make a transaction, the bank does not maybe recognize the transaction, and you'll get a call that would ask you to verify the transaction. Sometimes you just verify it on the keypad. Sometimes they'll ask you to verify it, but they don't ask you for your password. They don't ask you for your PIN number. They don't ask you for your account number. They just ask you to verify the transaction. That you can do, okay? But you should know under no circumstances you ever give out any more information than that because your bank already has it. The bank already has it. And there are people who, because they receive this information from a number from the bank, they may think it's legitimate. And it may be, but the thing is what they're asking you for. And if they're asking for something that they already have, a red flag should come up. Anyway, if someone asks you for your password, that's like a stranger asking you for your keys to your house. That's right. All right. I mean, it's just change to that. They just, they just asked me for the keys to my house. I'm not giving you no keys to my house. So I'm not giving you my password, my PIN number, none of that. I'm not giving you nothing. If you don't have it already, too bad. Like they say, hang up, and then you call the bank and find out if it's true. All right. So both of those that you can see, they both use technology. They use technology that we use every day. Phone, text, internet, but it's based on how it's being used. So the key thing is not to avoid using it, just be careful with it, and let's be aware. Let's be aware. Not only let us be aware, but make your relatives, your friends, and make them aware. Because he caught on to it, but he had given up some information. Before he even caught on, he had given up some information. All right. Some people don't catch on to it. They give it all up, and before you know it, they've hacked their accounts, and they've emptied their accounts out. Okay? And you got to really prove that happened in order to get the money back. So it's hard to get the money back, if you can't prove that that's happening. Well, let's give him the mic.
I was trying to remember the name of it, but last week I was listening to NPR, and they were speaking to some other scam that's going on. I'm not sure if it's the internet or whatever, but they're preying on wealthy people. I think it was Facebook or something. It was something to do with the internet or something. And this wealthy guy had, I hate to remember, something they invest money in. It's something notes, or something to do with money or penny or something. What do they call that?
Penny stocks? I don't know.
Something, whatever he is. They stole millions of dollars from him. And they say that it's something new that's going on. And they said once they exhaust all the wealthy people, because they rob these wealthy people of millions of dollars, and maybe because they don't notice it right away. I know. But there was something else. I thought maybe you might have heard something.
I haven't heard that one yet.
But they said, but they expect the future of it to be that, later on down the line,
They go for the regular people?
Go for the regular people.
Yeah. Well, okay. I haven't heard that one yet.
I can't think. I blocked so much.
I try to, I do know that just recently in the news was the information about a Ponzi scheme. But I try to catch those activities that I know that I want to bring to us, that I know that affect many of us, okay, or our friends and our relatives. And these two I know do. I know one wealthy person, But the person that ripped him off was his own attorney. You know, no, it was. He sold him bogus. It was bogus investments, and he didn't find out about it. Like what I said, they got so much money.
So much money.
They got so much money till by the time they look into it, they didn't took 3 or 4 or 5 million. You know. No, this wasn't real estate. It was investments. They sold, you know how they take their money and they invested in things, but he wasn't really investing it. He spent it on himself, you know. But he was telling them, you know, and they have these 2 sets of books, and it's something like what Madoff did. It's almost what Madoff did, you know.
It sounds real similar, but the only difference was it was through something that we all have access
to.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they're going after the wealthy people.
Yeah. Well, that's what this was. Yes, sister.
You just made me a little nervous.
Okay.
And I had to rethink some stuff because sometimes you log into your account from a different computer.
Yes.
They'll say to you that you never logged into this account before. You got 3 options. We're gonna send you an email or text or something to let us know that this is who you say you are.
Okay.
So you log. So I was just a little nervous.
That's all right. No, that's okay.
I know it's okay.
That's okay.
I was a little nervous. I logged into the text and that's what's going on.
That's okay.
Because when I tell you that it's so real and to our older people, and you know us, they really get very quickly, our younger people, because they're not conscious of that you don't give your number out, or they convince you, because that was very convincing what they said at that time, is that we suspect some fraudulent on your account. Whenever they expect fraudulent on your account, they're going to send you an email to your account that's attached. They've never called me on the phone and said we expect someone to fraud your account. So maybe they do that from time to time, but they haven't. But it's so critical because when they can get you just like that, and at some point I want you to talk about, because you talked about the different cash apps and stuff before, because now they're doing fraudulent to people cash app account, and the bank doesn't want to give your money back. But you know what the bank said? You gave someone permission to be into your account. So that's something you want to.
Okay, I will.
So I just want to tell you that.
Let me talk to you about what you just said though. I logged into what it is when you're on they call it a new browser, a browser that the bank or whatever doesn't recognize. That's all right for them to send you something to identify who you are. And when I ask them to send it to me, I ask them to send it to my text me, because I'm the only one who has this phone. They'll say, okay, we got 2 numbers, because you give them that when you set up your account. And I tell them, okay, text it to this one, and it's just like a number code. And I put the number code in just like they text it. That identifies me as the whore. So then they allow me into my account. All right, that's okay. It's when someone calls and asks you for your PIN number. That's totally different. Okay, they didn't ask me for a PIN. They just want to identify who I am, because there could be a time when you buy a new computer. When you buy a new computer, set up a new computer, and you try to log into your account, it'll say you're trying to access your account from a computer, what they call a web browser, that we're not familiar with. We want to find out if that's it, and so they'll send you a text message. Okay, nothing wrong with that. Okay, nothing wrong with that. Okay. All right. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Make sure it's on.
2 things.
Yes.
First, I have been a victim, and I'm not the wealthy, but I've been a victim. And it started with a phone call from the bank, which I questioned, and I did. I did not give them the information, and they had information from me. But then I was still nervous afterwards. Like, who is this person calling me? Are they legit? So I walked into the bank, and I told them what I had received. They then gave me a printer, and there had been fraudulent things done on my account to the tune of close to $1,000. I got all of it back within a few days because I could verify. Number one, it was some of it was in a different city, and I was not there. I could verify some other things, so they did give it back. We are insured through our bank accounts, so if someone does do that we can get that money back. So I don't want you all to start putting your money in mattresses and stuff. That's what our relatives did because they were nervous. Allah has our backs. So if we're being alert and wise, and we're tying our camel, as Brother Akbar is trying to let us know that we should tie our camel, that Allah has our back. But there's another side to this whole thing. The people doing this started out with a certain mindset, and they started playing around with stuff. And they eventually got to the point that they decided that scamming was the best way for them to do what they do. I teach children today who can hack into something extremely fast. extremely fast. And these young minds are doing that. They are lacking that moral piece.
Yeah, well.
And that's one of the reasons why what we're doing is so important as far as the teaching of the Deen and letting people know that you have to answer to a higher power at a time in your life. Every day, actually, you answer, but that you have to answer to a higher power. And if we can get that moral piece back, people will think twice about doing something like this and hurting people. So that's even more reason why we need to be pushing these programs that we're pushing.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Well, that's the reason why. First, I thank the mosque heads for allowing me to be able to present on first Sunday. I share this kind of information here, and then I have the blessing to be able to be on the Lifeline every third Saturday of the month, and I bring some of that information to the Lifeline. However we can, we want to get the information out. As I said before, if it wasn't successful, people wouldn't continue to do this. But people still do this, and so that means they're getting successful. If you don't know, just recently in the news, just recently, I'll share this with you, then I'll conclude. The government took Facebook to task. No, not Facebook. Google to task. Not Google. Uber. Now, see, I done gone to took Uber to task. Uber was hacked. They were hacked. And I forget how many millions of people's accounts was compromised. They caught the hackers. What Uber did was they tracked down the hackers and they caught them. But instead of reporting them to the Justice Department so they could be prosecuted, they had them sign non-disclosure agreements. It's not to tell how they were able to do the hack. All right? But those same people also hacked. It's either, no, I gotta get, I think it was, it's the LinkedIn. They hacked LinkedIn. LinkedIn reported them.
Right away.
They reported them, and they caught them. That's how they found out that they had also hacked Uber, and it hadn't been reported, and it came to light. Now that was before this new CEO was there. It was when Kalanick was the CEO. You know, I don't know what they thought, how they thought he was going to hide this, for how long they were going to hide it, and it cost them a lot of money. Uber cost them a lot of money because they did not report them. Now those same hackers, they're going to jail. They were able to get $100,000 from Uber. I forgot how much they tried to extort from LinkedIn. And what they did was, it's called that ransomware, where they go on and hack and then lock up the system, and you can't get it back open again unless you pay them a ransom. Okay, but they got them, and they're now facing. They admitted it.
They caught two, the third one they didn't.
Yeah, there's one they haven't caught yet, but they caught two of them, and they're gonna get the other one. They eventually catch the other one. Now, they may get a little time, but that's not what they're going to want, really. What they want to know is how they were able to do it.
How they do it.
And they will eventually make that a part of their, if you don't want to do so much time, you're going to have to show us how you're able to do it. You know, I'm serious, they do this all the time now. They do this all the time. In fact, they have some hackers they call white hat hackers. Have you heard of that? White hat. They have a whole, they're called the white hat hackers. White hat, black hat. Okay, so you figure what the white hat is, right? For okay, these are the ones that they right. Well, the play deal is going to be for these ones that catch. But the white hat hackers they hire them. They hire them to go in and see if they can compromise the system, if they can hack it. And then they figure out, okay, how were they able to compromise that system? How were they able to hack it so they can close down those loopholes? And because this is what they do. This is technology. This is what they do. You know, so that's what they do with the white hat hackers. But these guys here, they were caught. And as I say, partly in their plea deal, they're gonna ask them, okay, well, you're gonna get a little less time. You have to show us how you were able to hack both LinkedIn and Uber, so they can close those loops. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sister. Walaikum assalam.
They will send something to your email. Be careful, because I know it happened to me. We have an account with this particular company, but they sent it on my work email. They don't have my work email. And what they said is, we're afraid something may have happened to your account. I said, I'm sure it did, but you're not going to get a response from me. So be careful. And I called the company, and I filed a complaint of fraud. But be careful, because they will send it. If you don't do anything with your work email, whoever you deal with your bills and what should not be sending you anything.
That's right.
On your work.
On your work,
email.
that's
So
right.
Be careful. Just because you get an email, check it out. Put, make sure. Put, how you can put that and see who it really came from.
Yeah, yeah.
So be careful with
Yeah.
that too. Even though you get an email, please be careful.
Yeah.
I want
Well,
to share that.
yeah, yes. Well, that's good. That's what they call phishing. That's what I was talking about. But it's spelled with a P, not an F. They call it phishing. And they just throw out a net, and they see what they can bring in. And so that's happening. So let's just be careful, but don't start using the technology. Allah blessed us. There's a lot of good in our technology. A lot of good. It's a lot of savings for you. I send money to people that I could never send money to as fast as I could send it to them if I wasn't using the Cash App. I have 2 grandsons in school. Granddaddy, can you can you help me? Can we? Yeah. And I send it to him. He gets it just like this. I wouldn't have made it. You couldn't do that. But no fee. But no. I'm just saying, on this one, if on this one, this is going just directly to him, and he has a debit card, so he can use it right away. So all I'm saying is this: don't be afraid to use the technology. Don't go backwards. Don't put your head in the sand and say you can't get away from the world. You can't check out. Yes.
Fear is the #1 weapon of the devil.
Yeah.
Imam Mohammed said that's the way the Satan enslaves human beings.
Just fear. Use fear. So don't be afraid.
Fear of poverty, fear of whatever, some sort of loss.
Yeah. So don't close down and don't use the technology. Use it. That's what it's for us to use. Yes, brother.
Just to emphasize that the holidays are coming.
Yes.
The holidays are coming. They will hack your credit card by charging like $1.
To see if it's
3 o'clock in the morning, hack that credit card, charge $1 Walmart, then try to charge $1,000.
Yeah.
Pay attention to your credit cards, because it's the time of year. That's their fish. And that's how they get they just key in until they get a hit. You got a number, and they'll jam $1. Then they turn around and charge $700. So just be mindful. It's that time of year.
Yes.
And that's why when they stop those requests, like if you try to put something through and they stop it.
Yes, that's why they're doing it.
Trying to do that.
That's right.
So don't get upset about it, because they're stopping fraud.
Assalamu alaikum.
What am I saying, brother?
I could add some attempts that have been made with me, but the one I would like to say to you right now is just to tie our stuff together. Studying Allah's word in the Quran and reciting His attributes, all that sharpens the mind so that you see stuff right away. You see right away. I hear y'all talking about old folks over there. I'm 80 years old. They don't catch me. Matter of fact, I laugh at them. I have blocked so many. Well, now, when you block them, on my phone you block them, they still can ring. But sometimes I'll hit mute. Just say, this is Pamela from Home Improvement. Can you hear me? I said, well, I'm not gonna worry about it. I can, if you pay attention before you answer your phone, most of the time you can see numbers that are suspicious. I did have a phone that but I don't have it. I think it was a Motorola that would tell you when it was suspected robocall.
Yeah, that's the carrier.
Yeah.
That's the carrier. It's not the phone. It's the carrier.
Oh,
Did you change the carrier? Did you change carriers?
No.
No? Well, let me just say this, and then I'll conclude my presentation. I got 16 seconds left. Now, for those of us who have smartphones, if you still have that flip phone, you may not be able to do this. I'm not criticizing. I'm not criticizing. I'm just criticizing. But if you have a smartphone, one of the things you can now, many of the carriers now, they are when it rings now, it'll tell you if it's possibly a scam call. They'll tell you scam likely. They'll say scam likely. That's the carrier, not the phone. So I have T-Mobile. Most T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon, most of them do that now. Okay. What I did, I have a I have an iPhone, and if you have an Android phone, if you can put sounds, sounds to your contacts, so when your phone rings, that particular sound rings. I'm serious. Now y'all looking at me like, okay, we can do this, right? You can do this. And if you want, and let me tell you something. Right. If you want to know how to do it, and you don't want to talk right in the open, catch me right after. Now I'll show you how to do it. I'll show you how to do it. What I did was, at all my contacts, I gave all my contacts a certain ringtone. So when that ringtone, I go and look at it, I know I'm going to answer the phone. Now, if it doesn't have that, the default contact is one ringtone that I know is a scam. I know that's a scam call. Okay? And now, if it's a real call, and it still got scam, I'll change it after I find out if it's a real call. That's what I did. And because I don't want to keep looking at my phone. Some people just answer their phone. I don't do that. Some people just, well, I just answer I don't do that because they count on you just answering the phone. All right? I don't do that. Now you can do this. And that way you don't have to be running to your phone all the time thinking you can know if it's a real phone call or if it's a scam call. Most likely a scam call. I'll show you how to do it after this. Okay? Yes.
Question. Now what I generally do is when I hear my phone ring, I look at it. And right away I see that, because most of my contacts, they have a face to it.
Okay.
I actually went around and if you give me your number, I would take a picture.
Right.
And I don't answer a whole lot of phone calls, so it's not a whole lot of pictures. These numbers come up, and what I generally do is if I have the phone and I look at it, I just put it down so I don't accidentally touch the screen or nothing. But a few times this has happened to me. This is the reason why I'm asking the questions. I picked up my phone for another purpose, maybe to look at my security cameras, maybe to look at Facebook, or just to pick up my phone. I might have been making a call, but as soon as I hit something, the phone starts ringing almost as if they knew I picked it up.
That I don't know. That I don't know. I think it's a coincidence because
I'll be looking at something else.
Yeah.
And I just picked up the phone, like and turn my a screen. And then now somebody's calling.
It's just a coincidence. That's a coincidence. That one I know is coincidence. There's no way they can know that.
For me, that was worth asking.
Yeah. But Brother Water says something that's really important. On some of these new contacts in the smartphone, you can put a picture to it. See, now when I put phone numbers in, I ask the person, can I take your picture? Because people got it. Yeah. Can I take your picture? Now, those are people who are on Facebook, whatever, I can get it right away. I don't have to worry about it. But some people may not be.
Some people don't want to take your picture.
Right.
People don't shake your hands. I used to do it. I'm like,
yeah. I want to take your picture because sometimes if I don't recognize the number, but your face comes up, then I know who it is.
Take a picture of their car, or their watch, or their fist.
Yeah.
Or their hand.
Yeah. But that's helpful. Okay. So I'm not going to share your picture with nobody. I had two people I did, and he said, okay, that was a good idea. In fact, he told me to share it with.
I was going to tell you that.
I didn't want to say who told me that, but yeah, he said, share that, let people know. Yeah, when you have a contact, you can take it, the new smartphones, you can take their picture and put it in your contact.